Hello everybody. Um Hi Judy, sorry about your headache. Hi Jessica, hi Helena, hi Bertie. Initially when I first scheduled the live, I thought of doing a Memorial Day thing, and then I like, no, I did leave something to be finished from last time. So hopefully I'll be able to post for tomorrow a Memorial Day thing, because I have something in my mind. If not, and if we are done real quick with the penny, then maybe I can show you another thing on how to do something pretty. Anyway, what can I tell you before we get to the thick and thin? This is the on the inside of the flower that I added more from where we stopped last Sunday. And as I said, as I showed you, this is how I actually baked it inside a cutter that I practically, oops, I didn't broke it now. So you kind of push in and then simply did this. And that way you can have, and you can also use batting. That's really good. Hi Lawrence, hi Elaine, hi Sharon, hi Colleen. So this is what happened. And let me actually focus the camera close so you can see each and every petal. Give me just a second. And remember, all the veins and all the everything that you see here, it's all because of the mica shift. Because that's how I showed you last time, how to do that mica shift cane. And because of the slight mica shift, because there was pearlescent in the cane and it was stacked in a specific way, it created these I guess I have a Finnegan hair here. Oh shoot. It created the veining that you normally see on a flower, and not only the veining, but also that pearlescent-y look. To be very honest, it's a pinch too shiny in my view. Peony doesn't have the petals so shiny, but overall I think it came up just pretty. And I'm sorry to hear that, Ellen. I hope you're getting better. How did you manage to do that? Hi, Isabel. Hi, Beth. So, anyway, I was thinking of putting it on a brooch. And it could be here. Just a very pretty penny. And just to be on to tell you a secret, I do make from time to time, when I have some extra clay, I will make several brooches, blank brooches like this, and they are made simply with the texture sponge, the same as I make, and I always have around the house some blanks for baked blanks for a couple's shapes and sizes of pendants or cuff bracelets, just in case I want to do something real fast. I don't have to wait, you know. Peony, yeah. I'm sorry, I'm saying penny. To me it sounds better. All right, so I'm going to, yeah, you can always watch it, Jessica. I'm going to use some of the white gold. So this is a kind of grayish, greenish scrap clay. Oh my goodness. That doesn't sound good. So before I start working on the flower, I'm going to put some wax on the blank brooch just to give it time to harden a little bit, because after I put the flower on it, it's going to be hard to do anything. And yes, I'm going to still be able to stick the flower on it even if it's got wax. But this way it's going to look a little bit like German silver. Very vintagey. And you know how once the wax is all nice and cured, when you buff it. Hi, Natalia. When you buff it, it looks exactly like metal. And I'm going to insist on the edges, because here I'm going to have the flower, so it doesn't really matter. Alrighty. And I can put this to the side. Clean my fingers. And then get on with. Yeah, I trimmed it. That's why it looks different. I gave myself a haircut. Initially, yeah, I had it trimmed the other Sunday, but I had trimmed it first like this, you know, kind of like bobbish. And then I was like, eh. It didn't work anymore because my hair after chemo went back to curly, so it was taking too long to try and straighten it all the time. And that kind of haircut doesn't look good with curly hair, because you need to keep those things straight and kind of going inside. And it didn't work, so I went ahead and I trimmed it. The way that I get this haircut always just fine. I just go, you know, and I trim the exact same distance from the head all over. And because my hair is curly, when I wash it, all I do is this and let it dry, and then I do like this and it just settles. So I don't have to worry about getting hairdos and stuff. Okay, so from last time we worked on this, if you remember, this is the mat for flowers. And then we're gonna use a ball stylus. We can use this, or where's the other one? Or this. I don't know if I'm gonna use this one, but I'm gonna use this one a little bit. And what else did I use? Oh, the veiner. And remember, if you don't have a veiner, you can always use the palm of your hand. That's gonna work just fine. There's no need to fret about it. But yeah, what I wanted to let you know, if you did not follow my Facebook, and remember I announced it at the beginning of the month, that I'm going to start paying a little bit more attention to Facebook. So the tutorial that's going to be posted on YouTube in a day or two is already on Facebook. And that one is on how to make mermaid tail earrings using Fimo leather. Yeah. Okay, so the thing is that at this point, and yes, I'm going to cut this, but not right now. okay, not this very moment, but I'm going to cut this and I'll show you that it's very easy to cut even if the clay is baked. So at this point, what I want, and I don't have another peony because in the meantime we had another storm with high winds and there's no intact peony in my garden anymore. Thank you, Donna. So we need the petals that now kind of fall like this. Yes, as I said, I will be uploading on YouTube too, but Facebook is going to have a day or two advance, you know. I mean, it's going to be first on Facebook and then after a day or two it's going to be uploaded on YouTube as well. And by the way, there is a new ending, and just to make you smile a little bit, I am going to show you the ending. Give me a second. I'm working a few endings right now. Remember that for a while I didn't put any more corner in the end doing endings, but I'm working on a few endings, not just with the Connor but also with Finnegan, and this one is a Finnegan one. Okay, so this is just the Facebook one. Give me a second to get right at the where it starts, and I'm going to put the display on. Okay, stop. Alrighty, give me a second and you shall see the, let me remove my face, get the display on, and away we go. Okay, that was it. I hope you liked it. But yeah, it's a brand new ending. No, 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 Helena, no. I said that I'm going to pay a little bit more attention to Facebook and all the tutorials that will be uploaded on YouTube. I'm not talking about lives. And by the way, talking lives, I'm looking right now into being able to broadcast both on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. But all the tutorials that will be uploaded on YouTube will be first uploaded on Facebook a day or two before being uploaded on YouTube. So, and I'm going to be very honest with you why I'm doing it. So if you want, you can help me and spread the word and all that. Because with the newest developments with Facebook, I should be able to have pay-per-view videos, but I need to reach a certain number of likes and of videos posted and all that. And because of that, that would save me a lot on having to upload on my own website and paying extra bandwidth and all that stuff. Because as I said at the beginning of the month, I'm trying to transition all my paid tutorials towards Amazon, and it's a higher quality and all that. And YouTube announced they are going to introduce, like now they developed more the stores for pages, so you don't have to worry about opening an Etsy store or whatever. And they are working on allowing pay-per-view. So that's the reason why, because I do also have paid tutorials that right now are sold through my website. Okay, let's get to this. So my first thing is going to be, I'm going to add a very, very, very tiny bit strip, however you want to call it, just to make sure that I'm getting a better adhesion. And as I said last time, I always prefer to do it in 2 stages of baking, because once you get to the next type of petals, you are prone to mess up these ones. So the best thing is to obviously bake this and then add the other petals. So is this the bacon one? Sorry, I've been working with all kinds of liquid clay stuff. Is this the liquid clay or is it the bacon bond? But yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff that, and I have a little bit of good news. As I said, I am expecting it to take a while, but it seems that finally, taking three times the original thyroid hormone dose, it's finally starting to work. I do have less narcolepsy moments. Okay, and why I did this, because having raw clay is going to make the new petals, attaching the new petals, much easier than trying to stick each thin petal on baked clay. Because remember, the danger is that whenever you kind of rub something on raw clay over baked clay, the raw clay will have the tendency to cut. So you see, I'm feathering here practically. Hi Gail, you're not that late. I've been mostly yammering. So this being said, now I can go ahead and trim that tip, and it goes pretty good. I can actually get it a little bit flatter, because the scissors will leave a little bit of a mound in the middle, but you want to flatten it a little bit, because otherwise it's going to be hard to put it on the brooch. Okay, this being said, this time I am going to cut the slices a little bit thicker, and not only that, but I'm going to cut them, because remember, I have all this is stacked mica clay. The color recipe was last Sunday, and you can find it on last Sunday's recorded live. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually cut at a slight angle, so that I'm going to have a little bit more mica shift showing. So, And not only that, but I'm going to cut them a little bit thicker than the top ones. And they will not end up being thicker. They will, just because I want to thin them out more, they need to be a little bit larger. I'm going to use the same cutter, only that I'm going to make them larger using the ball stylus. What part, Gil? The end of the flower? Okay, so let me see. Seven, 8. Now your thing is to make sure you don't lose the veining direction, because it's got that veining direction. Don't place the petal with the veining horizontal. Okay, so first is going to be widening the whole thing a little bit. And why I'm doing this, because why I didn't cut directly, because these are going to be a little bit more veined out, so even if I need to flatten them with the, and yes, you're going to have a little bit of air between the veins. Leave it like this. This is exactly how it is supposed to be. Yes, stacked pearlescent, Judith. Pretty much, that's what it is, stacked pearlescent. And the way that you can figure out the easiest way which side you have, the line, the way the lines go. Oh, I have some more wax here on my finger. The dull side is crosswise on the veins, so never go. The shiny side is from shiny side to shiny side are the veins. So that's how you know how you are, if you're good. Because you can see at the edges of the slices. I wish I could play some music for you, but with all this copyright thing, it's kind of hard. And music always makes things better. I grabbed something here. So at this point I'm going to simply cut my petals, and then any other thinning out is going to be after the petals are cut. If it doesn't seem long enough, make sure that you have the top, because the bottom is fine. It's gonna be cut away anyway. Yeah, apparently I had a whole slew of comments always commenting on the recording of my former live, saying This is so boring that this takes so long. Other artists can do it in a much shorter time. And I usually replied with, you know my style. Maybe you should learn what's the difference between a pre-recorded tutorial and a live one. And like 80% of those, they got too miffed at being told off that they deleted their comments. I didn't. To be very honest, I do have the, my comments are generally unmoderated, but and that is so I don't miss answering to anybody. I usually allow nasty people's comments because I want to know. It's a warning for others to be aware to what they are exposing themselves to. They might not try to bully me. But yeah, it was funny though, because there were all these brand new YouTube accounts who didn't even have most of them didn't even have a photo or anything. No followers, no liked videos, no nothing. So I'm going to go very nice in this, but insisting mostly at the edges. Not so much in the middle because the veiner is going to take care of that. I'm mostly insisting at the edges to make the edges a little bit roughly and thinner, because that's your most important thing when you want your flower to look natural-ish and you don't want your petals to look blocky and your work to look like a 6th grader did it. Insist on the edge of the petal, not on the whole petal, especially if you are more in the beginner stages and trying to do the whole petal ends up with you shredding the petal. No, just insist on the edges. That's going to be just fine. Ah, see, I did it. This is horizontal. It's not working. I didn't pay proper attention. That wasn't good. No, not in here. They were posted on the recordings of older lives, not in the live chat. In the live chat, honestly, didn't really have nasty comments. I only had some people starting to believe that the chat room on my live broadcast was some kind of regular chat room where they could catch up on their latest travels, vacations, and dinner. That's why I had to ask these two nice ladies to moderate my live chat. So this seems like it's the most time consuming of all, and it is, because if you want your flower to look pretty, you kind of want to do this. And remember, with the ones in the middle, I first veined and then cut. With these ones, I first cut and then vein because I want them to be more fluffy, so they will be larger than and a little bit different shape than the cut size. And I'm going to insist even more on the edges after I vein them. Okay, so once again, and whenever you use this kind of veiners, your best bet is, see how it practically figure out which of them is your best, if you feel more comfortable to get this one of them on the bottom or the other. It doesn't really matter, but it's going to help you being able to find the proper spot. And this is a sugar craft, so it is a little bit whatchamacallit, softer. No, Helen, because I did actually years ago. I had classes in my kitchen, but it's just the time, because with my fatigue issue. But I do have one-on-one consultations with my sponsors when they need it. And now with the new chat rooms, we kind of started getting a let's have coffee together thing, pretty much. And that's neat. Even if we are on very different time zones, it is nice because you can have up to 8 people in the chat room, so you can visit with friends and show off your fur babies and discuss aspects of everyday life or of claying or whatever you want. It's awesome. You didn't? Well, if you check my Amazon influencer store, there's a flower making section where you find a lot of veiners. Most of them, they are for sugar craft. It's for making the flowers on cakes and stuff. And quite a bit of those techniques can be applied in polymer clay, but not all, because it's not so much the texture difference, it's the stickiness difference that makes it impossible to do certain things when with polymer clay that you can do with sugar paste, gum paste. So and I'm gonna be very honest with you. With at the very beginning, when I started the channel, yes, the chat rooms are on Facebook. When I started the channel, because I was, what type of channel should I knew I wanted to do tutorials, but what type of channel, what subject? There was the finalists were sugarcraft and polymer clay, and polymer clay won. Otherwise you'd see me just being another one of those sugarcraft ladies. Okay, so now that I did that, I'm going to enhance a little bit more these petals and thin them out, because remember there's even some breakage on the actual penny, so you can follow the, and I will announce real soon, because remember I have a whole set of sugarcraft tools for a giveaway, and I'll announce real soon the giveaway on that. So I am a little bit enhancing all this. And if you want to make it more ruffled, you can go ahead and use first the ball stylus right on the very edge. And yes, you kind of destroy the veining that you put there with the veiner, but then you can come with this and just follow the lines on it, and you're gonna get a fairly nice and thin petal edge. If it's not thin enough, I mean, if it's thin enough, don't bother, because what's the use of it? Only if your petal edge still doesn't look like it's thin enough to be realistic, then you can do that. Okay, so this one looks a little bit thick, so I'm going to thin it out some more. And don't worry if you get stuff like this where it's not perfectly round, because this is how penny petals are. They are not perfectly rounded. And you can even insist and cause a little bit of breakage like I did there, because once you place the petal, it's going to look more natural. Okay, this one is good. I'm going to just break the perfectly rounded part here a little bit. And this one has a couple points where it's thick. Okay, so the next is very, very simple. But again, I'll show you how to fix it on the brooch. Nevertheless, my advice is first bake the flower and then attach it to the brooch with the leaves. And you can attach it not even having to bake it. You can attach it with the epoxy glue. But let's go ahead and do these. I'm gonna do the ones that, whatever I have a little bit shorter, I am going to place it right here. And then feather it in the clay below. Because remember, now I have clay there, raw clay. And you can pleat it a little bit, but not too much. You don't really need a lot of pleating on it. Don't press on the petals underneath. Hold pretty much, this is just to hold the weight, but pretty much hold on the other side of the bottom of the flower. And don't creep up, just place them kind of following a horizontal line. Yeah, actually, Donna, those aren't just for teeth. Some of them are for teeth, but the sets that you see, they are actually wax carvers. The ones that are on my influencer store. The teeth ones are the ones with a lot of very thin things and rounded things. But the ones with different shapes, they are not for teeth, they are for wax carving. There'd be no reason for teeth to have all those shapes. They only need something sharp to go in between. Okay, and then I'll show you how to bake the flower. Because right now you think, okay, I don't think that's going to look like a penny too much. It will. I'll show you the little secret on it. It's how you bake it. Okay. Now, still having it like that there, I am going to take again a paper towel. And I'm going to practically make it in a roll. Yeah, and I always recommend it. I have one of my most favorites is in that set. I kind of changed it a little bit. Okay, so as you can see, I'm kind of calculating it to be where's my tape? There it is. So masking tape, aka paper tape. Yeah, I think you might be, Donna. But you're right, they can be also used for the initial mold of the teeth that go in the mold to make the final teeth. And they made out of wax, or they changed, because I know a while ago they were making them. Now see, you can feel young, Donna. But yeah, I remember that they were making the first set out of wax for when they were making teeth. Yeah, my most favorite is, hold on, let me find it, what I did with it. Where is it? It might be somewhere on the table underneath things and I cannot find it, but I'll try. See if it is anywhere here. Yeah, okay, this is my most favorite one. See, the one that's got the flattened end like this on one side and then this on the other one, and I actually filed this to make it a little bit thinner. So yeah, they are wax carvers. Okay, so, and I'm going to get myself a few little petally things. And you'll see in a second why. I might not need them, but I want to be prepared for them. So I'm going to go where the bottom ones are. And see, here goes one. And bring them over like this. And you can even give them a little bit of now the bottom, the falling petals, even they are usually not as many as the top ones, but it depends from type of flower to flower, because the same as roses, not all peonies are created equal. So pretty much this should be it. If you need to make it a little bit thinner, smaller, but make sure that the thing that you need to make sure, and you can bring it like this to look, none of the bottom petals doesn't go much past the bottom of the flower. So this is pretty much good for baking, and this is how I'm going to take it to the oven. But before doing that, I'm going to make a few leaves, obviously. First of all, I need to buff this. Thank you. Yeah, I'm not much into the kawaii stuff. I do make them from time to time, if you remember. I think especially for Halloween I did kawaii things. We did the kawaii ghosts and kawaii bats and kawaii something else. But I did some kawaii things. Okay, now your best bet is just the simple jungle green. And I know I had some here, and I might have just put it back. Yeah, I guess I put it back. Hold on a second. What, puppy? What, puppy? You mean this, my rag? It's a microfiber rag. Okay. Yeah, I made kawaii pumpkins, yes. Okay. Let me grab a leaf veiner. Okay. I know I have a small leaf veiner, but I don't know what I did with it. Anyway. Oh yeah, it looks old. That's how I wanted to have it look vintagey. And I forgot to get some green dust. Hey. Okay. Sorry for that. There's another wax that I've put in my influencer store, a wax museum, museum wax. But no, you don't really want to put any other kind of wax because it might have ingredients that can degrade the clay. So, as I said, there's another brand in my influencer store. But you can find the Renaissance wax in a small can, not just in those huge cans. Okay, what is this? And I don't really need the flower leaf cutter. This can work. So I only need the tips of it. I don't really need more than 3. So a leaf veiner. Oops. Just make sure that you place the, not all museum waxes. You have to make sure, but the wax that I used here is a metallic wax. It's not a transparent wax. But yeah, you have to be very careful for that wax to not have ingredients that might hurt the clay. And see, this is also Sugarcraft, and the problem when you use Sugarcraft stuff for Inca Gold is quite crappy. When you use Sugarcraft molds and veiners and stuff, sometimes because the polymer clay is much harder than a sugar paste, the silicone in the molds and in the veiners get squished, so you kind of lose details. Okay, why nobody told me that I messed up my camera? Yeah, as I said, there are some small ones. Let me see if I have both the small ones and the large ones. But the small Renaissance wax is not that bad. The thing that you have to think, the big one is $17, but there are smaller ones. What you have to think is that it's going to last for years and years and years and years. Okay, hold on, I found one for only $15. I'm gonna add it. Because the one I had in the store was 17 and I found one for 15. So that is an investment. Inca Gold, as I said, is not that good of a quality thing, because practically what it is, it's acrylic paint with some kind of waxy-ish thing, and always you have to put the clay back in the oven after you apply it. So different than the Art Alchemy ones, you need to re-bake your stuff, otherwise it's going to rub off. And Inca Gold generally kind of needs sealer, you know. Hi Mihaela. Let me put my Amazon link. Hold on. There. As you know, out of everything that I've tried, my most favorite waxes are the Art Alchemy ones, because of how natural they look and all the colors they have. And all you have to do is to get old silver and aged brass. By the way, PolyClay has all of them. I now have all of them in the store, and they are a little bit more expensive than through PolyClay. So, to put the leaves on, I'm gonna do the same thing first. Give it a little bit of a raw clay. Hi, Fran. Yeah, everything that we have here is more expensive when you get it in Australia. It's just like double or triple the price. I was looking because I was trying to recommend some stuff to somebody, and when I went on the Amazon Australia, I was like, oh my god, look at them prices. I could not believe my eyes. But you can get stuff. Honestly, I thought of when things get a little bit better, ordering some of those waxes on AliExpress and getting them through testing. At least that's gonna help some shop owners in that area of the world to be able to bring stuff. Because when you order from AliExpress, you wait like forever for your stuff to come. Okay, so now remember, instead of the Franco Garcia artisan powders, please feel more than welcome to use just chalk pastels. It's much easier for me, and I like them, especially because they bond and they don't need varnishing or sealant, because they are made to work and bond on resin, so they are super pigment thingies. So I'm just gently dusting these leaves to give them a more natural color look. No, because obviously I'm not going to have time to bake that and then show you how to do it and all that. Once this is baked, I'm going to explain to you how to attach the flower. Remember that the flower has like a mini volcano. If you turn it upside down, it's like a mini volcano. Let me close this because this is a box that I messed up. So now I always have issues closing it. So once both these are baked, and also you want to put some support under here for your leaves, because you don't want them to go. Yeah, but then you have to pay a ton on shipping. So with the cost of shipping nowadays, that's not good either. Okay, so you kind of go something like this, but as I said, the bottom of the flower is kind of like a mini volcano. So what you do, you make a sausage snake. Then remember, this will be baked already, the flour, right? But you get your little sausage here after this is baked. Yeah. And then you use bacon bond here, and then you place it here. And then you take the flour and push it in so it would get a perfect imprint of the bottom. Remove the flour, bake this, and then apply epoxy glue and place the flour in. And as I said before, the epoxy glue that I personally prefer, it looks very messy the way that I keep it, but it does the job, is the 2 parts Loctite. And why I use the 2 parts Loctite, not just because of the fact that it's very good and doesn't attack the clay and it glues to perfection, but the thing is that you know very well that on most epoxy glues that are not 2 parts, what happens most of the time is that you open a bottle and you use it 2 or 3 times, and then the 4th time you go to use it, it's a block. So while the 2 parts epoxy Loctite doesn't get hard until it's mixed with the other part. So yeah, I just keep it wrapped like this in cling wrap. And I've had this, I finally am going towards the end, but I've had this thing for like 2 years. So, and then simply place the flower in the already made imprint, because that way you'll have perfect fit. And let it cure, I would say, for at least 6 hours to make sure that everything is okay. And then you have your pretty penny brooch. Now another thing, do not forget, when you put the pin on the brooch, put it up here. And why you want to put it up here? Because if you put it in the middle, any brooch that's got any kind of weight on it, imagine that this is your chest, this is your blouse. If your pin is in the middle here and the brooch has any kind of weight, it's going to go like this. So it's going to kind of show the pin and the underneath. But if you put the pin on the top edge of the brooch, then it won't be able to go like this because of the weight. It's going to sit properly on your chest. So okay, Well, I guess it's an hour and I'm starting to get tired. I cannot show you another thing, but look forward to the if you are in a hurry, you can head on to Facebook and check the tutorial there. If not, wait and I'll put it soon on, but I hope for tomorrow to be able to finish the Memorial Day, the patriotic tutorial I've been working on, and then there's another tutorial that's going to come soon, again first on Facebook and then on YouTube. Okay. And it's going to be with these. It's for amber. These are earrings. And a pendant. And I have them in gold and with silver made, so you can see the differences. Yeah, you can put it in a necklace. All you have to do instead of this, just make a round base. Should be just fine. But still attach it this way. What I would do, if you go for a necklace, I would place the flower just slightly slanted upwards, so that when somebody looks at you, sees the flower more close to from the very front than from the sides, a little bit from upwards. Okay, so I shall see you next Sunday, and look out for those tutorials. And as I said, if you're in a hurry to see the mermaid tails earrings, just head on to Facebook. If not, I'm going to post it on YouTube really soon. Yeah, the for amber is just and it's always stuff that you can get. Yeah, you're right at the end, Cinnabon. I'm sorry. Okay, everybody, have a wonderful what's left of Sunday and a wonderful week. And I shall see you all next Sunday. Stay safe. I love you all. Goodbye.